What's up, YouTube? First and foremost, shout out to Alien Army. Raise up, stand up, hit a like button, drop a comment. Gonna do something a little bit new on this. If you guys can, Alien Army, drop 2 comments and hit the like button only once. And hit the like button, thumbs up, you know what I mean? If you're new to my channel, I am homeless. I will probably throw a video here, kind of learning, how to do that. Real quick as well, if you want to know what Alien Army is, those are the people that rock with me heavy, rock with me tough, and they always hit the like button and drop a comment. I think moving forward on long-term videos, or you never know, I'm going to be throwing a secret word to see if you actually watch the end, and you can throw that as a comment. So, watch the end, or, if you want to skim around, I mean, you got free reign. But nonetheless, want to jump straight into this video. Checking in, Alien Army. So, drop that. That's been going on. I think I forgot it last video, but not going to forget it on this one. Homeless, straight and narrow. So I'm going to try to jump to the points a little bit quicker. I think my intro might, make people not listen, but I'm explaining that. So rock with me on this. Homeless, straight and narrow. So this topic can mean a lot of stuff. What I actually have in mind is just that, straight and narrow. People mess up. I have it in my head until I start talking. Well, can't think of the word right now, and it's a word that I have a hard time saying, but dang man, I really want to think of that word. If it pops in, I'll definitely say it. Nonetheless, straight and narrow. So straight and narrow, let's say no drinking, no using, and never been in prison, or nothing crazy with county jail. Basically you didn't do some long stretch, you don't have a crazy criminal history, you don't booze it up, and you don't use stuff, right? There's a lot, in my opinion, that's probably the way. Well, not even just probably, in my opinion, that's the way I am like that 100%. But then on top of that, that's exactly what I would recommend. I think that people that would do that kind of stuff would drag them down more. So I guess I'll start off talking a little bit about, what would make somebody do that who's never done it before. I've always been scared of that stuff. I grew up in the hood. I even, on my older videos, you'd see me staying in the hood areas and me talking about what's going on at truck stops and rest areas. Right now, I'm not in a hood area, but things happen. It doesn't matter where you stay at. I'm actually at a nicer rest area. I've been staying at this rest area, and then there's another one that's not far, and I've been going back and forth, and if you watch my videos, you probably understand why, what happened. Nothing with me, just they started cracking down security there and everything else, and a couple of altercations did happen there, but not including me, somebody I knew. But what would make somebody do that? Probably them feeling hopeless, them being in so much pain, them never getting back to what they once had. And what I'm going to use as an example is 2008. There was an extreme real estate bubble that popped. There was predatory lending going on. The people also had a bubble on their mortgage, and that bubble on the mortgage was like, it was cheap for this long, but at this certain year, you're going to have to pay a big old chunk. And they had that going on, and a lot of people weren't wise to it or didn't think that much of it. I don't know what they thought or anything like that, but that did happen. And a lot of people had beautiful homes and made a lot of money, and they never thought at all that this was what their life was going to end up being for at least a period of their time. You might have to jump back there. When that all happened, a lot of people learned real quick that just because you have friends and family, people do because they want to do. Just because you know a lot of people, or you think you have really close relationships with them, people have their own families and they have their own dynamics. They might let you stay for a couple of days if something's going on, but for you to live there, most likely not. If you think that you have friends and family like that, you won't know until you're put in a situation like that. And if you are put in a situation like that, and you do have people like that, then that's great. But for a lot of people, I feel as though they think that, oh wait, no, I could stay at my grandma's house because she told me. Well, wait until you need help. She may not enjoy you staying there. She might only want to help you for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And just because they're like that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Like, people do because that's the way I cope with it. You know what I mean? The way I cope with it is people do because they want to do. Nobody owes you anything. and that's just the way it lands. You know, just because you would do something for somebody else doesn't mean that they should, you know, they do it for you. And that's something that does bother me. Like, if I'm nice enough, if your car is in the shop and need me to pick you up, but if the roles reverse and my car was in the shop and you needed to pick me up and you just told me no and didn't have a good reason, or you knew that I was going to ask and you deed off or whatever, yeah, then of course it's going to, you know, I'll know where our friendship is. I won't be mad that, you know, I have nobody to blame but myself. You know what I mean? I'm sorry that I'm a better friend to you than you are to me. You know, is it the end of the world? Is it anything like that? No, but I do believe people get mixed up in that a little bit. But staying on the straight and narrow, so like this is the point of the stuff I really wanted to talk about at this time is if you fall into that stuff on YouTube, let's say for example somebody's on Fetty, somebody's on Blues, somebody's on that hard H or that hard C, you know what I'm saying, those kind of things. If they are on that stuff and somebody does an interview with them or a video, and there's several channels I've seen this, especially the content that I do, I guess my version of the For You page on YouTube, what I gets recommended to me and stuff, out of those things, and at times I do, you know, I'll watch them, you know what I mean, you know, why not, right? But when somebody is really down on their luck and they're on those things, I see that people get those videos get tons and tons of views, right? That's number one. Then number two, I see a very big like in the comment section, man, I really hope this person gets clean, or oh man, what's that person's Cash App, what's that person's PayPal, you know, I want to help them. If they get clean, I can help them more, right? What's crazy to me about that is that the homeless people that are on the straight and narrow, we don't get that, or at least I don't, and I don't see anybody else, you know, that gets that. And it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? You don't, you know, you want to help somebody who, you know, of course they need help, you know, nobody's better than another person, but somebody made, you know, some right decisions where they weren't going to rely on those substances. You know, I see people, videos and of somebody doing 20 years in prison, and they come out and they got a really great support system. They come out to, you know, having an old lady. They come out having a place to live. They have coming out to people and their support system that was able to acquire them a job or a position, or help them get them on their feet. When they get out, they ain't got clothes anymore that probably fit, or, you know, they're messed up or whatever, right? Excuse me. And to me, that's very important. You know, I'm happy about success stories when somebody goes and does prison time and they come out. They're still going to be a part of our society. They are still a person. They should have those support systems. But to me, what's really crazy is you know, hey, I'm not in prison, and do I got an old lady? No. Do I got you know, you know, money like that? No. You know, do I need clothes? Of course. You know, and it's I don't want the video to be where it's like nitpicking stuff, but it's really the straight and narrow. Like, you know, it kind of does come off where it's like, you know, if you're doing really, really bad, you have a better chance for somebody having empathy or sympathy for them. However, what did those people have to go through, you know, during their you know, their abuse, or you know, them using that stuff to begin with? You know, they probably went to county jail several times for petty theft, or you know, commercial you know, running out of the store with crap, you know, the kind of stuff that they might, you know, diseases they might have got, you know, the hardship them selling themselves, so, you know, coming up short. My ear keeps itching, just to let you know. I think it's because the way the sun's coming up, I could feel a little bit of heat on it. But you know, to me, it seems really, really crazy. You know, and I, you know, like, there's, you know, the worst, and with those channels, for example, the ones that are, you know, people that are you know, using stuff, they put, like, the ones where they got scabs on their face, they got a little bit of blood in their mouth, their hair's all messed up, they're skinny as a toothpick. You know, they're you know, they look out flat out rough. You know, they look like they've been going through it. It looks like, you know, that you know, some of them look like they had never slept in a month, and they are incoherent when they talk. You know, their body is doing that waving crap where, like, I don't know, like the junkie shuffle or whatever, you know, whatever you want to call it. When those videos, they get tons and tons and tons of views, and I wish I could think of the word. It's like sensitizing. No, it still hasn't popped in my head. I had it before I turned my camera on. Just my luck. You know, that always happens. But they're those people that are doing that, they got a bunch of help. Like it's crazy to me that when like I don't have any insurance and I've been homeless. Like the only benefits I get is EBT, which is SNAP. I think that's what it's called across the board, food stamps, and it's a couple $100s a month because I'm homeless. I live in my car and I don't make enough money, and they see it, worthy of giving to me. But if I was escaping a bad relationship where I was getting hurt, if I was a woman with a kid, if I was over 55, if I had diagnosed mental problems, or if I had substance abuse and things like that, I could have more more resources. So it kind of throws me off that like what you're supposed to do, and the mature thing to do, and the responsible thing to do, and the thing to keep you more grounded because you want your head on a swivel. One of the biggest things is why you shouldn't do that stuff is you get caught lacking so quick if you're nodding off, if you're doing the dope fiend lean, if you've been up for a week or two or however long they stay up for, looking like a zombie. When they actually go to sleep, they're out. Like your stuff will get stolen. You can be abused. Things can happen to you. You could be in a bad situation, especially if you're a female. It's even worse. I mean, that stuff does happen to men too. That can happen either way. You want your eyes moving around. You want to be grounded. You want to be able to use logic. You want to watch over your back. Then another thing too is if you're doing that stuff, you most likely have a running partner, a stickman. Somebody you stick with. That's I think that's why it's called stickman. Somebody you stick with and somebody you run cons with, basically. In those kind of situations, you have somebody like that, and who's to say they're loyal? Who's to say they got your best interests? If it's if the difference is between them getting well and them ripping you off and stealing your stuff, what do you think they're going to do most of the time? They always say you shouldn't trust anybody in jail and you shouldn't trust anybody on the streets. But if flat out, when I was on the streets without a car and stuff like that, there's people I hanged out with. There was other homeless people that kind of watch after each other. Keep them at a little bit of distance and stuff, but I wasn't using anything. I've always been afraid of all that kind of crap. I grew up in the hood, seeing what happened to people's parents. Everybody's parents were all on the hard crap, and if they weren't, they were they'd get blackout drunk. They were always on the sauce, and then unfortunately a lot of my friends, I saw them actually start doing the same stuff. And what's even crazier than that is that a lot of them actually started doing this stuff with their parents or other people's parents. Like their best friend's mom might not do stuff with their son, but she did it with one of their homeboys. You know what I'm saying? And them getting all cracked out and spadackled, spun around, or all dope fiend leaned and stuff like that. Like what a great example you're being. You shouldn't have done that stuff in the first place. And I understand people make mistakes, right? So I'm not judging them, saying that they're bad people. They do have a monkey on their back, and it would have been way better for them to not have that monkey on their back. But the person who's straight and narrow, who knew not to do that. And I guess at the same time, me saying all that, somebody could say they could say, well, you're homeless and you're getting food stamps. I don't get food stamps, but I work for my money and I pay for my food. That's that would be a very good point. But the way that I see things is you have one bad week. Let your family fall on hard times, and you could very easily be where I'm at. You could be very easily worse off than me. You could literally, get your cars taken from you and have to go into the street. When that 2008 real estate bubble crashed and stuff like that, I remember I'm originally from out west. I'm in the Midwest right now. Originally out west, and I remember people, in a very rich area, suddenly all those people decided to make join another kind of commune, a tent city underneath all these freeways. And then those same people that were very rich and very snooty, and most of them had no compassion or empathy or sympathy for people that are less fortunate. Suddenly, those people are now, flying a sign saying, please help. I lost my house, I lost my family, I lost my wife, I even lost my dogs. Suddenly those people, and then it didn't take much time for a lot of those people who you would have never thought that they would have picked something up. Would have never thought that. Like they probably never thought they would ever be in a situation. But what happened is they were living in very bad conditions. They had everything that they loved, materialistic wise, and things that meant so much to them. They lost their wives. They lost their kids. Their kids probably got taken to child protective services or foster care, and when 9 times out of 10 in those situations, those kids are in really bad shape as far as who they're around, and then them being scared that they don't have their mom and dad around them. And you might tell me, I love my kids so much I would never let that happen to you. Things happen, natural disasters happen, that real estate bubble thing, who knows to say that it won't happen again with the predatory lending that they're starting to do again and all that, right? That everything costs so much that you could really never really own anything. The amount of money that you make and what you have to pay for it. Who says that house that you live in is really worth $300,000? I know with real estate, I do have a little bit of experience with real estate. I used to teach marketing classes to real estate agents and stuff like that. And it wasn't even just classes. I've been invited to seminars because I used to do webmaster for somebody who did real estate stuff. I used to do leads, squeeze pages, click funnels, marketing, and email campaigns. I did a whole lot of stuff, PPC, pay-per-click, and then of course I did a bunch of video editing and stuff like that. Which is really crazy is I did all that stuff, but I'm good behind a computer, behind a phone. I'm I guess halfway decent. Look what I'm doing, on YouTube, right? But that's beside the point. The straight and narrow part is if you find yourself in a situation like this, I would always suggest for you to stay sober. If you've had substance abuse problems before, you should remind yourself what could happen. Do you want to get sick while you're in jail? Do you want to be dope sick? Do you want to be in a situation where you don't have your wits around you? Do you want to be around people that you're only as useful as what you do for them? If you do get good friends and people that actually watch your back, it's a very rare thing, and you should definitely cherish that, and you should reciprocate. But a lot of times it's the homeless stealing from the homeless, and that's one of the scandalous things that happen, especially when you're on the street. I run alone. I live in my car and everything else. I do have some friends that are homeless that live in their car as well. More than 50% of us actually hold down a job, and we are just barely making it. If I had enough money, and I know what people might say, and that's why I do this preemptively or whatever. If they said, "Hey, Alien, why don't you just rent a room for $300 to $500?" One, it'll be hard to get a room for $300, but let's say I could, right? I've rented rooms several times, and every time it's always ended badly. And I've always had my stuff stolen, or people not giving me my deposit, or they were scamming. Or let's say, for example, you rent from somebody and you had no idea that place was going to be evicted in a month, and they asked you to pay 3 months in advance or 2 months in advance. Sorry to keep clearing my throat. When I do videos, I don't have my air on. It's really hot and it's humid. Like I said, the Midwest. I do have my window cracked a little bit, so it's helping. With all that being said, always you should stay on the straight and narrow and watch out for stuff. But it does seem like the people that are really really starting to be hopeless and losing their hope, doing that kind of stuff, and having it making it rougher for them. That's why you shouldn't do it, because your life is going to be hard enough. Why would you introduce that? Yeah, maybe you would take the pain for a little bit, but what comes after looks like a damn disaster to me. You know what I'm saying? But the people that are like that, they are the ones that, in my opinion, get the views and get the crazy attention. They're the ones that, if they need a bed or a medical card for insurance, and I guess I was going to touch on that for a little bit, is like, I don't have any insurance. I've talked to people. I've picked up the phone, press 211, find out my resources. Other than a couple of food pantries here and there, and I've gotten some hot meals, on special days when I was really down and out and stuff like that. You get that. I can't even get into a shelter. All shelters are a capacity. They've been like that since winter. And in wintertime, I would have checked myself into some of them. Some of them, I absolutely wouldn't. And no, you had to get into it because they were at capacity. You needed to have a kid with you. You needed to be a woman, like the things I had said before. Mental stuff, and I do got mental problems, man. But is anything diagnosed? No. I had somebody, I had a therapist tell me what he believes. He thinks I have PTSD, and I really don't want this video to be about that. But I couldn't get help because I wasn't a stage 3. I was stage 2, according to him, and he said that was his early prognosis, so to speak, right? If I was stage 3, then yeah. And one of the reasons for the stage 3 was I had inquired about resources to help myself, and he's like, when people are really bad, the shower could be next to them and they won't take the shower. The food could be right there. It's a hot meal, and they feel so bad. They have so much trauma, and they have so much PTSD or too much anxiety that they would rather just lay on that sidewalk and not get up. And he's like, and those are the people that we help. So because I'm not that bad, I am punished. It's not even punished. I am not rewarded. Because I'm not that bad, there's nobody out there to help me. Because I don't have kids and I was responsible, and that because I was responsible and never had any children or anything like that, I can't get into places. Because I don't have any abuse I guess I don't touch I don't touch any of the hard stuff, and I don't drink or anything like that. Because I don't do that kind of stuff. I have less resources. By not doing that stuff, I have been, I have not created problems for society. The people that come out of jail, I don't know if they have much stuff, but I'm very happy when they come out of prison. There's a channel that I watch where somebody was supposed to do life and was able to get out on a special law and changed everything, and very, very, very motivational. Very happy for the guy. People that when people are locked up in the shoe for a long time, just 23-1, or maybe not even 23-1, who knows, right? Who knows how long they're locked up in that isolation. If they get out, well, one, it's torture as far as I'm concerned. Then number 2, if or when they ever get out, they're going to be around everybody, and they paid for their crime by being away from society. But when they come back into society, they really should have the tools and everything that they need, whatever it is. Because they come out, they very well could just hurt you for no reason. And that's more than just that. We should do the sensible thing and be humane towards each other. And us working all together is how we get things done. You know what I'm saying? A lot of powers that be want us to all fight amongst each other. If we all get on the same page, there is nothing that we can't do. When they start arguing or fighting, or then they're using devices to take our attention, the people that are all just happy to go ahead and barely pay for things, right? If your car gets messed up and you don't have the money for that, and what if you don't have the money for public transportation and you lose that job? How quickly can you be in the same position that I'm in? And I don't want that for you. I'm somebody who wants to end homelessness, and one of the biggest ways to end it is to make sure that it never happens to begin with. Why are houses cost so much? How are these people making it with just Social Security or just disability? Without the help of their family or friends, or being in a very poverty-stricken area with a very high crime rate and unsafe stuff, and then them being limited on what they can own and stuff like that. Like, it's meant to keep them down, and only knowledge and applying yourself will change that. And that's one of the hopes for my the videos that I do. And I want to encourage people to stay on the straight and narrow. I don't know how to tell you to get off any of that stuff. I wouldn't have the slightest idea. I think that you have to really, really want it. Nobody's gonna do it for you. And that same advice can be said to me. Alien, what would take for you to get back into a house? This journey, I think, is gonna be a long time. My credit is ruined. Any place that I would be willing to stay and pay money to needs to be safe. I lived in the hood in the Midwest while I was driving trucks, and unfortunately, I don't have it in me anymore to continue doing that, and that's the nicest way of me putting it. No, when I'm in that truck, everything comes back to me with the PTSD. I have a lot of trauma. It also has a lot of rule breakers, but I have videos that I actually talk about that kind of stuff. Why I quit trucking, and I thought about getting back into it, and I was really trying to pump myself up to actually get it done. And then even more rules are changed, but I just don't have it in me like that, And I want to feel fulfilled. I don't want to just, if my goal is just to land in a house to pay rent and not live in my car or not live in the street, then my goals are too low. I want to dream. I dream big, and it's not just about little base hits and what I want a home run, but I'll stack up those base hits like every little win that I do, And a lot of times, unfortunately, I learned the hard way. And a lot of times I'm very hard-headed, and a lot of times I just don't have the right luck. And when all that crap is going on, it's sometimes I take 2 steps forward and I got to take 2 steps back. Then it's maybe it's 3 steps forward and 2 steps back, and I'll inch along. But one of the things is I have no choice to go, but to go the distance. But that's something I will do, and I do feel that anytime that I really thought I was alone, God was with me. Does he answer does he answer everything in the way that I could comprehend? Absolutely not. But he doesn't owe me to give me a financial manifestation of money that's right next to me that can change everything. Maybe that's something I gotta work for. Maybe I'll appreciate it more that way. I would love for it to happen. I'm not gonna lie. When people are like, I wouldn't change anything. I want to, man, I'm 100% honest. I got regrets. I got a lot of things I would change in my past. I got a lot of things that I have planned for the future, and what I would like to do is inspire people. I'd like for people to rock with me and stay on this grind. I may not get that million viewers that some people have gotten 1 million viewers in 1 month on YouTube. It just took one video for them to go viral. I'll see where I'm at in 9 and 10 years. If it takes 9 and 10 years and I get a few subscribers here, a few subscribers there, and it builds up, that's perfectly fine. And I talked about this in my last video. There's YouTube people that I watch that have 100,000 viewers. Some even have 75,000 viewers. 75,000 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers, between 75 and 100,000. Because I'm lumping up a few people. With those people, they don't have to work a full-time job anymore, and they're making over $100,000 a year. I don't have any skills, and to me, I like doing this. Like if somebody said, what is something that, if I give you $1 billion, what would you do, right? Of course, I would end homelessness and I would do a lot of stuff to help things, but I wouldn't stop YouTube. So maybe this is what I was meant to do to begin with. I mean, it feels really good. The support. One of the biggest things that shocked me on YouTube is the support system that I have with everybody rocking, the alien army standing up and raising up and hitting the like buttons in those comments. That really is my support system. I got a lot of friends, and I got a lot of family, and I do love quite a few of them, and I do have good friendships with people and stuff. But are they cheering me on by sending me text messages and calling me, or stuff like that? Not the way, like it's different levels of stuff. I feel like my real support system is YouTube, and that was something I didn't expect at all, and that's something I love, and that's why I rock heavy. And I'm always going to be authentic and transparent, and say my stories. I do have to watch some of the stuff I say on YouTube, but I know how to tone things down. I'm not dumb. Real quick, I don't know if I said in the beginning, if you want to bless me on Cash App, my Cash App's name is the same as my YouTube name, AlienAscend. If you've watched thus far, in the top in the comment, I'm going to tell you what the secret word is going to be: strength. Type in strength in the comment box. I'll know that you watched the video all the way through, and I want to thank you guys so much.